Countdown day 14, getting my loan before $40,000. The bully and the history. When I was younger, I lived with my grandparents, and their house was next to a vacant lot. That lot was vacant for years. That lot you'd be able to see from my grandmother's house to the other side of the street, because you would go leave my grandmother's house, go left down 116th and turn down Towne Avenue, which would you make a left to get to like the sidewalk or get to the bus stop or the local stores. Well, that lot was empty for years, and we'd cut across that lawn sometime. I'd see my dogs, I'd run across and jump over the fence and then go hang out with the dogs, or the dogs would run over to us, jump over, dig under the fence and come be with us. So that lot was just a buffer. And then one day, construction started, and then after that, the bully moved in next door. It only took about 2 or 3 months for the bully and I to have a disagreement. I guess he didn't like that I wore a tie because I went to all private high school, like for all guys, and we'll talk about that later. And I guess he just thought I was a nerd or something, or thought I was an uppity yup because I didn't go to the college down the street. So we always had arguments. It was like pushing and shoving matches, then eventually came to him throwing punches at me trying to throw punches at him, me landing on the ground on my butt, then having to clean myself up after a couple of minutes, and then I'd head off to school because I usually had a 10-minute walk to school. Then after that, they would be fine, but then after about 3 o'clock, because school ended at 3:30, I was worried about, here I have to go again, walking through the bully. So it was sort of a miserable existence, and I was just like total hated my parents, because my parents made me live with my grandparents. They sent me to all guys school, and now I got to go through this bully guy. It's just torture. I mean, what are you trying to do to your son? Make him a psychopath or a future mass murderer or something? Or maybe you sent me to all guys school, think I'm going to be gay? That's politically incorrect, but back in '86, you know, all of you who lived during that time knows how it was. So as you hear, there's like a fire truck. I'm out in the field in Beaumont, California, inspecting a job, and as you see, there's a fire truck that went by. In my neighborhood, it was the police cars that went by, zooming. Those were the days. Well, back to my story. I totally just hated my parents. The only thing, that's why I love dogs, because I always go complain to my dog, Border Ball. It was Rex or girl. Just couldn't. There's another dog, I just can't remember her name. Bootsy or something, or something. But what I learned from that experience of being a bully is I just don't quit. Even subconsciously, when I quit, I still keep going. So it took me that 7 years to pass that senior exam. Looking at those problems, even though I was failing, was nothing like rolling on the ground, having your books knocked down, or just like always worried about, okay, have a bruise here, a bruise there. And then before you get to school, you got to straighten up your tie. It's like sort of like my bully would start putting me in an abusive relationship in high school. He was teaching me the meaning of a true abusive relationship. And I just hated my parents, and then I just hated the bully too, but it didn't matter how hard I fought, I just lost. And then I'll tell you about one experience with a bully. I finally was able to hold my own, that he said, okay, it was time for him to go get 5 to 7 allies to go against me, and I ended up having to break into a house to escape, so I'll tell you about that story. So my lesson today is, like, we all have bullies in our lives, and sometimes the bully is good, and sometimes what I learned from the bully is sometimes you just don't quit. It's going to hurt, but I'm still going to be here waiting on you. But if you come at me long enough, worst I can do is increase the difficulty, but I know you will succeed. And my lesson, so I want you guys to take a look. Hey, are you being bullied? What you should learn from that bully is you got to confront them, don't quit. And you can't legislate it. Trust me. There's other forms of bullying, and you guys know there's ways you can be subtle or not subtle. But in the end, you just got to stand up for yourself, even if you get retaliated against. And that is my theme for today. That is the background of the bully. So the bully, and another caveat to the story is I got my black belt when I was like about 40. I got a black belt. Just about 30 years too late to deal with the bully.